The phone wasn't supposed to ring, and I definitely wasn't supposed to answer it. If I had ignored that call like I normally did, my marriage might have continued for months, maybe even years. But fate had other plans. My name is Olivia, and for 13 years, I believed I knew my husband better than anyone else. Ryan wasn't perfect, but he was dependable. At least, that's what I thought. We had built a comfortable life together. A nice home, stable careers, weekend routines, and future plans. From the outside, we looked like one of those couples who had figured everything out. I trusted him completely. Never checked his phone. Never questioned his late meetings. Never doubted his explanations. Trust had always come naturally to me. Looking back now, I realize trust can sometimes become blindness. The day everything changed started like any other. Ryan was rushing to leave for work. He grabbed his keys, his coffee, and his laptop bag. "Big presentation today," he said. "Good luck," I smiled. A few minutes later, he was gone. Around noon, I noticed his second phone sitting on the kitchen counter. It was his work phone. He must have forgotten it. I considered calling him, but I knew he'd be busy. Then the phone rang. The screen showed an unknown number. Normally, I would have ignored it. But what if it was important? What if it was related to his presentation? Without thinking, I answered. "Hello." For a few seconds, there was silence. Then a woman's voice spoke.
Soft.
Comfortable.
Familiar.
"Hey, babe. Are we still meeting tonight?" My entire body froze. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't speak. The woman continued. "I miss you already." The room felt strangely quiet, like the world had stopped moving. Finally, I managed to whisper, "Who is this?" The silence on the other end was immediate. Then the call disconnected. Just like that.
No explanation. No answers.
Only questions. The questions that began destroying everything I believed about my marriage. At first, I tried convincing myself there was a misunderstanding. Maybe she had called the wrong number. Maybe there was another explanation. But deep down, I already knew. Women know. Sometimes our hearts recognize the truth before our minds are ready to accept it. And what I didn't know that afternoon was that the phone call was only the beginning. Because hidden inside that forgotten phone was a secret Ryan had spent years protecting. A secret that would soon shatter my entire world. For nearly 2 hours, I sat alone in the kitchen staring at that phone. Part of me wanted to leave it untouched. Part of me was terrified of what I might discover. But eventually curiosity became stronger than fear. I unlocked the device. Ryan and I had always shared passwords. He never imagined I'd have a reason to use them. The moment the screen opened, my heart sank. There were messages, hundreds of them, most from one contact, a woman named Sophie. The conversation stretched back almost 3 years. 3 years. I felt physically sick. While I was planning anniversaries and family vacations, Ryan had been building another relationship. The messages weren't just romantic. They were personal, intimate. They talked about dreams, future plans, even apartments they wanted to rent together. I couldn't believe what I was reading. Every message felt like another crack forming inside me. But the worst part wasn't the relationship itself. It was the lies. The endless lies. Every late meeting. Every business trip. Every canceled date night. Suddenly, everything made sense. The pieces fit together perfectly. And I hated it. When Ryan came home that evening, I acted normal. I smiled, asked about his presentation, served dinner. Meanwhile, my heart was breaking in silence. For several weeks, I gathered information. Financial records, messages, travel receipts, anything that revealed the truth. The more I learned, the stronger I became. At first, I cried every day, then every few days. Eventually, the tears stopped. Not because the pain disappeared, but because something else replaced it.
Clarity.
I finally saw Ryan for who he truly was. Not the man I thought I married. The man he had chosen to become. One evening he sat across from me and casually mentioned that he might need to travel more often. I almost laughed. The confidence amazed me. The way he lied without hesitation. The way he expected. The way he lied without hesitation. the way he expected me to believe every word. That's when I realized something important. Ryan thought he controlled the story. He thought I was still living in the dark. What he didn't know was that I had already spoken with a lawyer. I had already documented everything. I had already prepared for the future. And soon, the truth would stop hiding. Soon, Ryan would have to face the consequences of every choice he made. But I wasn't interested in revenge through anger. I wanted something far more powerful, the truth. And the truth was finally catching up with him. After months of preparation, the moment finally arrived. Ryan never expected it. In his mind, everything was still under control. The secret relationship, the hidden expenses, the carefully crafted lies. He believed he had balanced both lives successfully. Then reality arrived. During legal proceedings, financial records revealed transactions he had never disclosed. Expensive gifts, luxury weekends, money spent supporting a life I knew nothing about. The evidence was impossible to ignore. Friends who once admired him began seeing a different version of him. Family members who trusted him learned the truth. The image he had spent years protecting slowly started falling apart. But the biggest surprise came from Sophie. Once she discovered how many lies Ryan had told both of us, she walked away too. The relationship he sacrificed everything for didn't survive. The future he imagined disappeared almost overnight. Months later, Ryan called me. His voice sounded tired.
Different.
I made a huge mistake, he admitted. For years, I imagined hearing those words. I thought they would bring satisfaction. Instead, they brought something unexpected.
Peace.
Because by then, I no longer needed his apology. I had already rebuilt my life. I had found confidence I never knew existed. I had learned that betrayal says more about the person who causes it than the person who suffers from it. When I ended the call, I didn't feel anger. I didn't feel revenge. I felt free. Sometimes people ask if I regret answering that phone. Never. Because painful truth is still better than comfortable deception. That single phone call shattered the life I thought I had. But it also gave me something priceless. The truth. And sometimes the truth arrives when we least expect it. A ringing phone. An ordinary afternoon. A moment that seems insignificant. Until everything changes. If there's one lesson I learned, it's this. When someone works hard to hide the truth, they often believe they're protecting themselves. But eventually, every secret finds its way into the light. And when it does, the strongest thing you can do is choose yourself, heal, and move forward. Because your future should never depend on someone else's honesty. It should depend on your own strength.